Everybody remembers Stan. It's one of the most iconic hip-hop stories ever told. But what if I told you Stan's story didn't end in 2000? 13 years later, on the Marshall Mathers LP2, Eminem quietly released Bad Guys, the opening track. At first it sounds just like another dark intro, but when you listen closely, you'll start to realize it's Stan's younger brother plotting beyond the shadows. He's all grown up and he only has one thing on his mind. I have to avenge my brother.
It's like I'm in the dirt digging up old hurt. Tried everything to get my mind off.
So, who's Stan? I'm sure you've heard the term being used for somebody who's obsessed with someone or something, but who's the real Stan? Stan is Eminem's biggest fan, and just like every super fan in the 90s and early 2000s, he writes him fan mail. These letters are personal, too personal sometimes, and they get more aggressive and demanding with the lack of response from Eminem. Stan is obsessed with M. He even dwells on some concerning activities because these are things that Slim Shady condones in his raps. And keep that in mind because it's going to be relevant later in the video. After 6 months of getting no response from M, Stan puts his pregnant girlfriend in the trunk of his car and drives over a bridge, killing his unborn child, girlfriend, and himself. 13 years later. Remember Matthew? Well, he's the narrator now. Or is he? This song has a genius twist in the end that can make you look at the story from a whole new perspective upon re-listening to it.
And I hate to be the bad guy.
Matthew idolized Eminem, and just like his older brother, he relates to his music, but after Stan died, his family was broken and Matthew took it the hardest. He blames Eminem for indirectly killing his brother, and what gets him more infuriated is the fact that M never once checked on him after his brother's death. He wants to make him suffer more than he did, so he's plotting to kill his former idol.
Fuck it, I'm coming to see you. And G, who better to talk to than
Matthew takes a trip to Detroit. After driving around for almost 10 hours, he pins down Eminem's new house and he parks in his driveway. He's been waiting for this moment for 13 years. He grabs his knife and starts making his way to the side of his house. He peeps through the bedroom window and quickly bends down. Then Matthew sneaks around to the back porch. He tries to open the door, but it's already unlocked, so he gets in. Eminem is surprised at who he sees, but before he could react, he's knocked down with a chloroform rag. Matthew drags his body to the back of the trunk. The story starts to draw parallels from Stan, with the body in the trunk and the similar tone usage of his voice in the third verse. Matthew has his foot on the pedal, cruising 90 on the freeway, and he starts to hear sirens. The cops are closing in, but it doesn't stop. Eminem and Matthew suffer the same fate as Stan and his girlfriend. A haunting deep voice starts to rap. This voice represents all the people that his persona Slim Shady wronged, including Stan, who was highly influenced by his messed up lyrics that Eminem innocently believes is just him clowning. There's a ridiculous number of people that Eminem has offended with his alter ego. And yeah, I mean, what the fuck is this? His demons are catching up to him, and Matthew is a physical representation of all these people Slim Shady offended. On one level, Bad Guy is a direct sequel, Matthew avenging his brother, but on another it's symbolic. It's Eminem's past and persona catching up to him. The song forces us to ask the question, can you ever escape the consequences of the character you created?
Why's your face red,
This
man?
verse and the outro directly reflects Eminem's career at this point. This is after he came back from rehab and released Relapse, which was not good, but then he made a decent recovery. But let's be honest, by this time music was changing. The edgy humor style of rap was fading away and quickly, and I'm not saying this is what Eminem was purely known for, but it was clear hip-hop was evolving into something else. Eminem is still Eminem though, and he has one of the largest core fan bases out of any artist in the world, and that's why Recovery still went #1 with him not being at the peak of his artistic ability, and you can tell it was clear for M in the last verse. And not only that, this is technically the first death of Slim Shady. Hear me out here. After Matthew kills him in this first track, in the following tracks we get a reflective Eminem who's clearly sorry for his past actions. He even talks about how he wants to be remembered, which brings us to the question, why was this song forgotten? Stan became iconic, but Bad Guy never got the cultural spotlight I think it deserved. And one of the reasons is because this album was packed with hits like Rap God, The Monster, Berserk, Survival, and not to mention he had Kendrick on Love Game, so this song got buried in the album's intro. Another reason can be because it's 7 minutes long and it's layered, and by 2013 the world wasn't listening as closely. Or it can be the very thing that Eminem mentioned in the outro of the song, but he couldn't do it twice. So while Stand became one of hip-hop's most legendary stories, its sequel lurks in the shadows. Do you think Bad Guy is an underrated masterpiece, or should Stand's story have concluded in 2000?